welcome. Dr. Vidhya here. I'm so excited and welcome to the Heart Leadership and Emotional Resilience Workshop. Okay, now I am super grateful to have you all here. If you joined me earlier with a live stream where we were having technical remixes, that's my word for when the tech just doesn't work for some reason. I like to call it a little bit of a remix. So apologies for that if you've been here since the beginning when I was just trying to sort some of those things out. But that's the beauty of going live, right? So I'm grateful to have you here. If you are watching this live, then please do comment warrior below or leader, and also where you are from, right? Where you're watching this, what are you doing right now? Are you watching this after work? Have the kids gone to bed? Is it early morning where you're at? Is it your lunch break? Are you in between clients, in between patients, in between meetings, whatever it is? I would love to know. Okay, so the more you put into this with your energy, with commenting and watching, the more you are going to get out of it as well. All right, so do comment. Now, if for some reason I don't see your comment straight away, because I'm doing this on StreamYard, but I'm also doing this into my group as well. So I believe it might come into the group afterwards. So I have changed the tech stack, so I'm still learning, so bear with me. But most importantly, watch this whenever it suits you. I do think live is beautiful. However, I do think, having been in many workshops and programs myself, obviously based in London and often things in another country, just watch it whenever it suits you. Get your 8 hours sleep. Don't rush through your lunch break. Some of your parents as well, or have loved ones or carers. So do your thing and watch this when it feels like a good time for you. Okay, make the time. But that's how I prefer you to do it, rather than trying to squeeze it in just because it's live at a certain time. Do it when it suits you. And for me, that is the divine timing. All right. So welcome to the workshop. Now, this workshop is going to run for the next 5 days. Okay. Like I said, the replays will be there in my private Facebook group called Wealthy Warriors. And it will be emailed out to you. If you registered for the webinar, it will be emailed out for you. So you'll get that little bit extra time. Just so you know, but to get the full experience, a couple of things you need to do. If you haven't received your workbook, please comment or just DM me, private message me on Facebook. Just DM me workbook, and I'll get that over to you, because the more you get the homework, it's just a little bit of homework. It just really helps you to get the best experience out of this for you. Okay. It also helps me because second thing I want you to do is to book your leadership consult with me. Now, this will be an audit. It doesn't take more than like 5 minutes to do. And you can then book your consult with me. Now, the consult is done over the DMs, okay, because that is the best way I found with the time zone that works, and trying to fit in calls that just don't work, sometimes cross timelines. So this will be done in DMs. So if you just DM me, private message me, consult, and then I'll send you over the audit. So it just gives me a bit more information about you, and then we can have your complimentary consult. And this will really be going deep into, where are you right now? Okay, what exactly is going on for you in your life? And this is in your career, in your business, maybe even in your family. Just what exactly is going on for you? Where are you at? Where do you want to get to? Right? Like Google Maps, needs to know what is your current zip code or postcode, and what is it where do you want to get to? Only then it can look back and formulate what we're going to do together, which is the 1-year plan, and then really zooming in to the next 90 days. All right. So this workshop is really going to go deep into something that I have formulated, which is the HEART method. Okay, it's my proprietary, and I formulated it over the last decade or so of working with patients, with clients in my coaching company, just many different ways across my books. And grateful to have served over 162 coaching clients and more than 10,000 patients. And really, I've really distilled all of that down into what I call my heart method. Okay, so we're going to cover that over the next 5 days. And in the next 5 days, there is an aspect of leadership, of career and business leadership, where we're really going to go deep into what that looks like for you. Like I said, if you actually want to do this one-to-one, it's complimentary, okay, this consultation, then I can go deep into exactly what's going on for you. Obviously, it's confidential, and we can really make this beautiful 90-day plan just for you. All right. So this heart method, I've got my notes here looking at so I can serve you best. This heart method is really a framework for professionals to really align their lives and lead with conviction, with calmness of mind, okay, and to lead with courage. And a lot of that takes healing. That is the first step. It takes healing to really go deep and to heal and release anything that no longer serves you. Any limiting beliefs that is not in alignment with that highest version of you. You know, it even takes courage to do the work. It takes courage to do the embodiment work as well, right? We can read the books, we can attend the free workshops, we can do that, but it really takes courage sometimes to just have even the belief in yourself to actually do the work, to know that this is working, to know that I am doing the right work in the right way. Okay. So what we're going to focus on is on my heart method. So what I want to quickly do is give you a quick overview over my heart methodology. Okay. So step 1 is harnessing your inner power and heal and release. Okay. So step 1 is harnessing, which another word for this is grounding. Now, when you really ground yourself, this is emotional resilience and self-belief. We have to really harness this. We need to build unshakable confidence as well as resilience in order to face our challenges calmly and decisively. We want to release any past fears, limiting beliefs, and emotional blocks that are actually keeping you where you are. Okay, now we want to have gratitude for where we are and how far we've come. Okay, so don't get caught in this sort of scarcity mindset of you're always behind and there's always more to do. No, honor the journey you've been on to get here, right to this workshop, all the steps that you've taken to get to this point. Honor that, be grateful for that. Okay, even be grateful for the challenges you're growing through right now. I know that might sound strange, but actually it is helping you to become this highest version of yourself with gratitude for who you are and where you are right now. Okay, this isn't toxic positivity or pretending everything's okay. No, we're going to be doing some deep work here. Okay, deep work, but we need to do that from a place of gratitude, a high vibe state, not from a place of fear and scarcity. All right. Now, this is also going to be helping you to step into your full potential and to cultivate a grounded energy that's going to align with your leadership and your personal goals. All right. So the first question I want you to think about, so write this down, is what recurring patterns in your thoughts or emotions are holding you back? What are some of the current beliefs that are actually not serving you? And what would freedom from those patterns look like? Okay, what would freedom from those patterns look like? So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can actually put that question in here. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. I just want to see if I'm able to pop this question down. I'm sure I can. Okay, banners. Okay, here we go. There you go. So that is the first question. What recurring patterns in your thoughts or emotions are holding you back, and what would freedom from those patterns look like? Okay. So I want you to write that down. This is in the workbook as well. But this is really important to really go deep into versions of yourself that are actually holding you back. It may have even been an old story part of a survival mechanism that actually helped you to get to this point, right? So have gratitude for it. But it may be that now the next level version, the next level leader of yourself, right? We are leading from within here, has to actually now let that go. Okay, have to time to let that go, because I know my movement is called Wealthy Warriors, right? The warriors, but it's really, this is why it's called the heart method. You are leading from a place of love, and this is from a place of self-love. Okay, it's not actually hustle and grind and pushing through. That is actually something that needs to change. That is something part of your operating reality that is actually not serving you. It is not about hustle and grind. Yes, you need to do the work, okay, in creating this workshop. Did I not have to create the tech that goes along with it, the questions that I've got all lined up here to help you, the workbook, I've written the book, the journal, obviously all the certifications and knowledge I've harnessed along the years and now formulated into my own proprietary, my own intellectual property. So yes, you do have to do the work, obviously, but you have to have the belief. You have to have the belief. You have to do the work from a place of abundance, whereby you do deserve this. You trust in your intuition. You trust in your decision-making skills. I was doing an appraisal just before this, and I was speaking with one of my doctors. So if you don't know me, sorry, Dr. Vidhya here, and I am a consultant family physician, which I love doing. And I'm a mum to two boys, currently aged 5 and 7, and I'm grateful to be married to my divine soulmate partner. So I work full time as a medical doctor. I'm also a #1 bestselling author, and I will send my books out to you completely complimentary. But what I ask in return is that you book a consult, you do the audit, you do your end, just so that, because this gives me great feedback, and also I want to help you further. I want to help you more. Okay, so I am also an appraiser for doctors, right? I do consulting work for the National Health Service in England, NHSE, if you're familiar with that. And I'm also a leadership coach. Okay, so that leadership is in career, in helping people to get their dream job. I help CEOs, I help founders of Fortune 500 companies to take their leadership to the next level, balancing intuition as well as logic, right? You need calm, balanced leadership with their faith, family, and their fitness first, to make their leadership one of calmness, of courage, and conviction. So that's career leadership, and also for business leadership. And that is more around service leadership, servant leadership. So really helping you to create your own movements, okay, your divine calling, helping you to ignite that calling into your own multi-6 or 7-figure coaching, consulting, service, predominantly online, but I do help people offline too. Become a #1 bestselling author like myself, have your own podcast and YouTube show, so that it can really get your message out there, right? Now, in my business so far, I think we've been serving in 58 countries, okay, which I'm really grateful to be doing. 58 countries, 162 clients internationally, and it's beautiful to see how far your work can go. So this is what I do, and in the doctor I was speaking to before this, I was appraising them, and this basically is a process whereby I'm really essentially looking into seeing if they're safe to still practice and what they still need to work on to really take their clinical practice to the next level. Okay, and I'm grateful to be a leader in this. So we were talking about a particular scenario in which they had to make a decision. It was a very challenging situation, literally life and death situation for the patient. And the doctor was asking me, we were reviewing a case, a patient. We call it case, but obviously it's a patient. And was asking me, do you think I did the right thing? Right? Do you think I did the right thing? And is there, what learning do you think I need going forward? This is a very experienced doctor, okay, very experienced doctor, and extremely knowledgeable, and it's a pleasure to serve in their leadership. And what I said to them is what I'm going to say to you, which is, in that moment of challenge, you need to come from a place deep within one of great clarity and focus, one of courage, one of calmness of mind and the body. And you have to really lean into your intuition, trusting that you have done all the work, knowing there is always more. There's always more reading, more learning, more certificates. There's always more. But you have done the work up until this point. You've done it well. You've been honing your craft and you are knowledgeable. You are excellent at what you do. Yes, there's always more you can do because really your potential is actually limitless, right? So you're always going to always have that feeling of there's more, right? Because there is more. We are goal-seeking organisms as human beings, right? But you have to trust in that moment, because sometimes in that moment, it is a couple of seconds, if that. And you have to trust. You have to know in your mind, I know exactly what I'm doing. You have to have that kind of conviction and calmness of mind. You cannot, there is no place for self-doubt, right? There is no place for self-doubt. Do you want to be under the knife of a surgeon who is having doubt in their own skills? No. Now, they may have all the certifications in the world, so they obviously have the skill set. So it's not about logic. It is not about the certificates, right? I do actually have my own certification program in my heart method. But the point is the certification is not always linked to your self-worth. You have to know, not just believe. You have to know. This is not even about self-belief. This is about self-knowing that you are the right person for this particular job. And in this particular situation, this particular time, this is divine timing. And I was saying to him, you were called upon at that specific moment in time. It was you, not this doctor, not that one, but you. There was a reason you were called upon to have this specific interaction with this specific patient at this specific time and in this specific way. Okay. And also in this specific moment in your leadership, right? It wasn't 30 years ago, it's now. So you have the knowledge and you have to just lean into that trust that you're making the right decision at that point in time, knowing that not everyone may agree with your decision. Okay. And you just have to know that it is right now, it is me with this patient, with this client, with whoever you are serving. And you have to have that conviction. And this isn't just blind faith in anything you do. No, you are doing the work, you're honing your craft, but you have to do it with balance, with your faith first, your family first, getting your 8 hours sleep, exercising, doing things in a balanced way. You don't just ignore those things to then learn more. It's not always about learning more. So hard work and more work isn't always actually the answer. It's about doing the right work, the smart work in the right way. So it was time for this doctor to almost let go of self-doubt in that way, knowing that if there is more learning, so be it. But right now, in this specific moment, I need to trust. And that trust and knowingness must come from deep within. It's part of your core values. And that's how you can really stand strong in your leadership. And really, this is all about self-leadership, leading from within. Okay, so this is the very first step in my heart methodology, which is grounding. You need to be grounded in your self-knowingness, grounding like the roots of a tree. Okay, like I was saying to my son today, if today in the playground, so-and-so comes up to you and tries to chase you again, right? This is self-leadership, right? It also works in the playground. You need to know deep in your core, in your heart, that the no is coming from there. No. And the roots, imagine there are roots growing down from his feet, deep down into the earth. And one foot is the roots of me, his mum, and the other foot is deep down roots from his dad, okay, and his brother behind him. He's just imagining that there's this invisible coat that he's wearing, which is his protection. And that is that sense that you need to come with your leadership, one of self-knowing, deep conviction and knowing, right? Even if you have to say no and something unpopular. And this, yes, even works in the playground with my son. So So this has to we really talk through, recurring patterns in his thoughts and why he didn't want to say no and why he felt he had to play certain, games like chase, etc., which actually he didn't want to. And so why was it that he didn't honor his truth and just carried on where he didn't want to, and really working through that. Okay. And it's amazing how many adults do this as well. So this is harnessing, really grounding ourselves and really healing and then releasing that. That's what I call it, heal and release. Okay. And actually for my mental health patients, I get them to do this as well. Heal and release. That's the type of journaling work. I have a journal. So if you want that, just comment the word journal down below and I will send that out to you. That's actually a separate book called Heal and Release. But if you want that, just comment down below, Heal and Release journal. I'll send that out to you. By the way, there is a separate journal, which is a Wealthy Warrior Leaders Journal. And you get that complimentary as part of this workshop as well. So let me just pop that down here for you. Okay, so just DM me journal if you want to receive that. And if you actually want the heal and release one, which my mental health patients use as well, just add in heal and release and just DM me. Just send me a private message on Facebook Messenger and I'll send that out to you. Okay, and this is my gift to you for coming to join this workshop. And I love to have your feedback on it. So that is step one of my heart framework. Step two is elevating your vision. And this is really about clarity and your creativity. Now, creativity comes from your core creativity. This means this creativity is not just for kids, okay? Like most evenings, I will paint with my kids. This is a new thing, okay? I used to say, oh, I love painting. And my kids actually used to say, well, I never don't see you paint much, Mum. Okay, this used to be an older hobby. And I thought, wow, gosh, it's incredible that my kids who are age 5 and 7 don't actually see me paint much. So that means in the last 5 and 7 years, these so-called hobbies of mine, I'm not really doing. So I'm not really embodying that leadership aspect of me, which is part of my creativity. This is part of my creativity as well. I created this workshop, I've created my own method, and you will do that too. And if you're in the middle of that, then keep going. It is not just a hobby, it is your divine calling, and you are called upon to do this. Okay. For me, this is not just a business. This is just being me. This is just a part of me, a part of my soul. So I really want you now to envision the future. Okay. Envision your future with clarity. And I want you to really define what this next level in your life, in your leadership, for you, your family, and for your health, your wealth, what does that look like? What is the highest version of your calling, the highest level of your leadership for your family, in your wealth, in how you want to lead in this world, how you want to contribute in this world? What does that look like? Write down a day in my life. What does that look like? Okay, and this is balanced leadership, right? Faith, family, fitness first. Okay, I want you to really connect. Just going to write down the question here. I really want you to connect with your intuitive self to make these aligned decisions effectively. Okay, so I want you, I'm just going to put this down here for you. This is the next question I want you to look at. What is this big vision that you are working towards? Really clarify it, because you got to imagine this question here. This is like putting the postcode or zip code into Google Maps. You need like exact coordinates of exactly where you're going. Now, if this is a bit vague at the moment, that is fine. I want you to really close your eyes, play some beautiful music for a couple of minutes, and really imagine. And this is what I do with my clients in my mastermind. Okay, we do this. We have meditation sessions as well, and we really go deep into where we want to get to. Where are we right now? We do the heal and release meditations, and we do these beautiful visualization meditations which show us exactly where we want to go. That is your higher self, or that is your intuition, whatever word works for you, showing you, as Steve Jobs says, you've got to imagine it and then see what are the steps looking back that I took to get to where I am at right now in this visualization meditation. All right. And then that's what you're creating, right? So that version of me, who is a wealthy warrior leader, right? Which I am now, yes, but that version that I want to accomplish, who is serving millions, billions with my books, my courses, my masterminds and programs. So I have those I've created those now. But why did I create them? Because I was looking to see, more than being a doctor, which I love doing, how else can I really serve people to help them with their leadership, with their emotional resilience, with leading their families, leading their teams, leading from within in terms of personal development and professional development, and their deep emotional resilience, emotional regulation, emotional well-being. How can I really help more people and on a deeper level? Because I get 10 minutes with a patient, right, as a GP. And I knew it was, people like to learn and to receive healing or their service in different ways. Some, it's this methodology. Some, it's a one-to-one face-to-face consultation. Some is online. Some it is through books that they're reading, right? Some it is through the workbook, journaling, really going deep with the embodiment, which is transformational, by the way. Okay, it is all about the workbooks and the journaling and the meditation, and that is, for me, healing is the biggest thing. The next thing is, some people love learning through a course, right? So it's like the book come alive. It's with these videos where it's self-paced, they can take their time. They don't want to feel rushed with live programs. They want to take their time and have lifetime access to it. Some of them, they want to be in a membership where it's a little bit of a hybrid. They have the courses, but they also have, an element they can ask their questions, right? They want that to and fro. They want to be able to ask their questions and receive feedback on that so that they can go deeper into their work. They want a mentor, somebody who's been walking along that path in terms of principles. Everyone's story is different. Some want a mastermind where they're meeting live pretty much every single week. And they are having like Voxer, like having a coach in your back pocket, literally a Voxer. So like any day they can ask a question, and they want to invest in that level of experience and of investment in themselves. Okay, for themselves or for their family. So it really varies. But I knew I had then created that. So when I then created that and started serving from that point, that is when I really also changed, because I started to actually embody those characteristics that I was seeing in my visualization meditation. I was actually now embodying it. Okay. And what I'm going to do is, after this, I'm going to actually not post, but I'll put into the group, which is a meditation that I created called Your Superhero or Your Superheroine Inner Self, and to really go deep into the embodiment of those qualities. Okay, so I'm just going to write that down, Superheroine meditation. And I'd love for you to do this meditation and to really let me know what your thoughts are on this. Okay, so I'm going to put that down. Great. Now, what I'm going to do is the next step, third step, is alignment. Okay. Now, I want you to really think about that version of you that has that vision all set out. You have it planned out. Maybe you are a coach in a very specific niche that feels so good to you. Like, I love leadership and emotional resilience. For you, it might be something different. Or you're a service leader, or you're a professional, and you are maybe multi six figures, which I've done, or maybe into 7 figures or 8 figures, whatever it is that you want. But it's not the money, it's not the number, it's the why. It's the feeling behind it. What is it? How is your day different? Okay. And I don't just mean how big your house is, but how does it feel, right? Like a sense of relief and peace and freedom, and just feeling alive, that zest for life when you are creating something. We are goal-seeking organisms, and that is a process of growth on a deep cellular granular level. Okay, so how does that feel? How do you operate as that version? Like me, when now, after this, I'm going to go pick up my kids from school, and it is a different version of me after I've done a workshop, when I've been creating something beautiful, deep within my soul, sharing just all of me. I'm a different mom, right? I'm happier, I'm healthier, I feel free, I feel amazing. And this is one of the biggest reasons why I created my business, was also just as another portal, another vehicle of creativity for myself. Right. That's something. It's not for me just a business and a source of income, although it's created multi 6 figures for me. It is a version of myself where I can speak of things and principles such as the 12 principles of the Wealthy Warrior Leader Creed, which I created, which I'll send out to you. Okay. I need to put that down here. So DM me Creed if you want to get your complimentary copy of my book, The Wealthy Warrior Leaders. And this really goes deep into all of these concepts. Okay, if you prefer to read it, then just DM me Creed and I'll send that out to you. But this version of me is, there are aspects of this workshop which I can't talk about in a consultation as a doctor, right? I'm not allowed to really talk about chakra healing, and even sometimes, not that you're not allowed, but patients, it's a different cohort, right, of the world and the way in which I serve, whereby it's very much stuck to the nice guidelines of what you would talk about, just like any other GP would talk about. Whereas this, what I talk about here, is very unique to me, my opinion. Okay, and this isn't, disclaimer, this is not just, yes, I'm a doctor, but I'm not your doctor. This isn't necessarily all medical. This is based upon my own personal experience and results. As a leader, as a mother, as a wife, everything I've experienced, as a TED speaker, #1 bestselling author, my program award has won awards in my coaching programs, as well as in my medical experience. I've won awards. So this is just to show you what's possible. And I have a framework of exactly how I achieved every single one of those. And it's not just a strategy piece. I have that as well in my mastermind, but this is very much about the embodiment of that version of me, that Vidhya. What did she do? What does she think? What does she feel? What is she doing when she's waking up? And I don't have time for like a 4-hour morning ritual, right? Like I've got to do drop off and pick up, and I work full time. So it's got to be efficient. It's got to work. It's got to be like to the point. And it's got to be in balance with my family, with my marriage, with working full time. And to the point where even in my job, what I was getting an award for being a top doctor, whilst also getting an award in my coaching program for being a top coach, right? So that is just an example of, it's not about the award, but showing that you are leading from that point of elevation and ascension in yourself. This is why I say you are leading from within, okay? And really, you want to go deep on this with me. So as I said, if you haven't done so already, please do book your consultation. So just DM me consult, and then I can send you out the audit. It takes like a few minutes, and we can really go deep into what is it that you want to achieve. Where are you at right now? And we can really work out, get onto voice messages with each other and really talk through this in detail, deeply, and really, really look to formulating a plan, right? Like a 90-day plan, which feeds into your year-long plan as to how we want to do this. All right. So what I'm going to post now is another question that I want you to have a look at. Just what would it look like to really lead with total authenticity? So you've now achieved this goal. Okay, whatever your goal is, you have achieved it. You've achieved the business. You've achieved the income that you're looking for, the multi-six figure 7, 8. You have achieved that deeper connection with your loved ones. You've achieved more time, quality time with your kids, with your family, with your loved ones. You have achieved a greater calmness of mind, which is emotional fitness. You've achieved greater flexibility and strength in your vessel, in your physical vessel, in your body. Okay. And you are really leading from a place of authenticity, with depth in your heart and how you are leading. You absolutely love showing up every day. You love waking up every day to serve in whatever it is that you're doing in your career or in your business, or like me in both, right? The 3 arms in your business, career, and your family. Okay. And I love it. I love doing all 3. And what does it feel like? Okay. So I'm not talking about the awards, the accolades, the income, but those are going to be byproducts. Okay, those are going to be byproducts. Don't just aim just for the income and just for the award and the title, because when you get there, trust me, it feels empty. Like you've achieved it. It's like, woohoo, I achieved it. And now what? Okay, and then you're just looking for the next thing and the next thing. Why? It's the embodiment piece. It's the feeling, because that feeling you can have right now. You have all the power the love, the respect, the recognition. You have all of that within you right now. You have the health. Yes, you may want your body to look a certain way, but you have that within you right now. What the embodiment work does, what we do, is we are removing the layers of doubt, of stories that no longer serve you, of even stories that aren't even yours, right? Definitions of success that are not even yours, right? That generations ago, they thought this was success, maybe based upon something that was happening in their society at that time, right? Or a way in which their gender or race or family or whatever was perceived at that time. They thought, oh, if we achieve this, then people won't think of that of us. But actually, it was about a deeper layer within of self-validation. That's what it is. And this isn't about the ego. This is just that deeper work. Okay. So what would it feel like to lead with total, and I mean self-lead, to self-lead with total authenticity, courage, and integrity in every single area of your life? Okay. So what does that feel like? And I want you to write this down and really think about it. Maybe play some nice jazz music or meditation music and really go deep. Okay. Now, what I want us to do is an exercise. Okay. It's called Heal and Release, Healing and Letting Go. This is part of the fourth pillar of my heart methodology, which is renew and release. Okay. So this is deep emotional healing. I want you to really go deep and think about everything in the past, whether it's the past year or it is just the past in general, beliefs, maybe even people, situations, things that you are just now ready to let go of. That version of you that is leading from that higher state, spoiler alert, there is a higher state. It's just that your vision is not able to fully see that yet. But as you get higher up to that, you will then see like, wow, there is so much more I can do. Okay. As you obviously increase that belief in yourself, that love in yourself, that validation for yourself, you will see there is so much more I can achieve. Like, why did I only believe up to here? Okay. So, but once you really go all out with your vision and you are actually creating, it's not just in vision, it's creating it as well. Right. And serving from that level, serving yourself as well. So self-care, right? Do you take the nap? Do you do the spa treatments? Do you make time for yourself? Do you get your 8 hours sleep? Do you get the extra help that you need if actually you're not able to do everything, all of it yourself? And you do that from a place of love for yourself, not from a place of scarcity, what other people think or what your spouse thinks or, anybody else thinks. You do it for you. Okay. So that version of you, is thinking different thoughts, is doing different things. And you need to let go of beliefs, maybe even people or versions of relationships that you're in, toxic aspects of relationships you're in. Just needs time to let it go. So I want you to write it down. What are you now ready to let go of today in order to create space for growth and transformation and elevation in all aspects of your life? Okay, so write it down. Okay. And what I'd love for you to do is actually once you've done with it, I want you to very safely in a sink or somewhere, burn it. And I'd love for you to just record it for like 30 seconds and post it in my Wealthy Warrior Facebook group, just as a bit of accountability and a celebration of just letting this go. This past version, you're letting it go. I'm going to do it too. Okay, I'm going to do it too. But you're completely letting that version go. Okay, with gratitude. It's not like feeling bad about anything in the past. It's just knowing that it just doesn't serve anymore. And I'm ready for further growth and transformation. And we are creating space for that. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that question down for you. And I'd love, love, love for you to do this exercise. Okay, does it feel a bit silly? Are you a bit shy? Yes. Well, this is what leading with courage looks like. Okay. And you're doing this for you. It's not about what other people think. It's for you to look back in 1 year from now and just know that, wow, I'm so grateful I did that for me. So grateful that in January 2025, I did that for me, because look at where I am, December 2025. You can look back at that. You can even look back at this recording, be like, I'm so grateful I did that for myself. All right. And then finally, the fifth pillar, thrive. Thrive with your visionary leadership. And this is really legacy creation. This is when it is more of the implementation piece, right? We've embodied now the wealthy warrior leader, and we are now taking action from that point, not from a point of scarcity. Okay. Now, this is about service, contribution, scaling, impact, really leading others from a place of abundance and purpose, and inspiring trust and collaboration. And this is including with your partner and in your family, right? Leading together, honoring each other's unique gifts. Okay. And recognizing that, and not being a bean counter, and really loving and respecting yourself as well as them, and seeing, wow, what an incredible team we make and how well we complement each other, including contrast in the relationship, right? Including things that you do really differently, and how amazing that is as a family, that you can see all these different perspectives. Okay. And also how you can scale your impact in your career or business whilst balancing your well-being, your faith, your family, your fitness, and your legacy, right? How you can actually be calmer and go faster, right? Something I was taught by my mentor, Bob Proctor. I used to be a Bob Proctor coach, teaching the Thinking into Results program. So grateful for that experience. Absolutely incredible. And RIP, my friend. But really, you can do it all. You can. You might need to change your definition of success. And that actually means you need to elevate your definition. I don't mean you go down, but you need to then raise your definition of success is here. And that version of you, the beliefs, the thoughts, the actions are here. And you might be here in what you think of yourself. And what you need to do is raise the vibration, raise your thoughts of yourself, and raise your game as well. But it doesn't necessarily mean it has to take more time. It doesn't necessarily mean an increase in effort. It's just an increase in your energy, in your impact, in your delivery, right? And that comes from a place of abundance. It comes from that version of you. That version of you, you're embodying that version of you. You know, before I did this, I did a visualization meditation, embodying that version of me, that version of Vidhya. And what is she saying, right? How is she presenting? What are the key messages that she wants to get out there into the world? And then we're going to build out systems for this sustained growth and fulfillment in alignment with that version of you, that highest version of you. Okay, that leadership version of you. You're a leader right now. We are all leaders. We are all self-leading. But that version of you who has created whatever it is you want to create to contribute to the world through your career, through your business, through your family, or all three. Okay. And what is the legacy you want to create? And then let's create it. Okay. So then I have the strategy and I have the exact how to do all of this in your divine calling, in your unique way. Be a #1 bestselling author, create your multi-6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure coaching consulting service, launch your lucrative service, be a TED speaker, have your podcast and YouTube out there. But it's not for the titles, it's for how you want to get your message out there into the world. And you can do this whilst working full-time, just like I am, right? There's no reason why you can't do this full-time as I am. In the other days when I'm going to be doing the rest of this workshop, I'm going to be doing my lunch break. It's going to be like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Okay, I'm going to be doing my lunch break in between clinics, right? So it is up to you if you want to create obstacles into how this will not work for you, and all these reasons why, or because of this person, that person, this situation, and it's all right for them, but for me, you've got to build up your belief in not just the opportunity, but build up in the belief that you can do this opportunity and you can do it now. Okay, so I really want you to lean into this, do the questions, do the homework, do all the questions I've set out for you. Okay, I'll send the email out with the questions as well, with a workbook there. Okay, and I really want you to lean deep into that. Now, the reason I started the birth of my heart method and the Wealthy Warrior Leaders movement is because I was looking for another way to serve. There was a time I was pregnant and I was really beginning to see that I don't know if when I go back to work as a doctor, and I was pregnant at the time, I don't know if I can still do this. Like I had my own award-winning practice, which I loved, but I'd be finishing work at 10 o'clock at night, working on the weekends, going into the practice, and there's always more to do. And I really often felt like, well, what I want to do is I want to do it well. I was winning awards for what I do. I was a regional mental health director working with the government and doing incredible work. But I was really like, I don't really know if I can do this in a place of balance with my family. I once had a really awful car crash, which thankfully I recovered from. I didn't have any serious injuries from. But partly the reason was, although I wasn't tired, I didn't fall asleep at the wheel or anything. If anything, the police actually charged the other driver who crashed into me at 80 miles per hour. And it could have been so much worse. And I really do believe that was divine intervention. But part of the reason, upon reflection for me, was why was I leaving the surgery? Why was I leaving at like 10 o'clock at night? Is that my definition of success, to leave so late? Is that the only way I can achieve success? And I knew that it was about emotional resilience, because I wasn't going to let that accident become a challenging time for me. I was going to rise out of it no matter what. But I also knew that this was not about working harder, right? Because I was already doing that. I knew that there had to be another way. I was like, Vidhya, this is not working, okay? I mean, yes, you're getting the awards and you're doing really well on paper, but you don't have as much time for you. Yes, I was doing my exercise because I was then going home and working out for an hour, and I was still actually having good 7-8 hours sleep. But once I got pregnant, I knew that, but how would I still get enough sleep and with kids and run an award-winning practice and do all of these things? I've got to find another way to serve. And that's when I discovered, that's actually when I wrote my habits book, 2018, in that maternity leave. That's when I wrote it. And it was just another way to serve. And it was really to myself, that book, really all about, exactly how, what are the habits, right? What are the habits I did that summer to really embody that higher version of myself, the leadership habits, the success habits. It's even got a recipe book in there as well. It's got a cookbook. And because I knew that I had changed so much in that maternity leave, with honor for who I was before. But I was like, wow, I've really risen. And there was quite a traumatic birth as well with my first one. Thankfully, everything was fine, but it was a really difficult time. And even with the first little one, I was asked to stay at home for 4 months. This is obviously pre-COVID. No one knew what lockdown was, but they asked me to stay at home because I had presumed sepsis, me and the baby. I mean, no one really knew what had happened, but I knew at that specific time when the little one was, taken off to the intensive care unit for babies, and I was taken to the adult one, and my poor husband running between the two, that I knew that, I was grateful for where I was at, but I knew that I love serving and I had to find a way to make it with faith, family, and fitness first. And when I was alone in that cubicle, I knew I had to really pull on something really deep within me. And that was my spirituality. You can call it values, you can call it whatever you want, but I knew that is a level of self-leadership, or it's not even the self, that really got me through very challenging times. And I knew that there were certain things I did during that time, during that maternity leave, that really elevated me and pulled me through in an abundant way. And that's why I wrote the Habits book. It really went deep into what was I was doing. But looking back now, I can see that was really just the tip of the iceberg. That was the very beginning part of my sort of more self-awareness journey, to be honest. I was only just scratching the surface. It was in my book, and then people started asking me about the book and how can I get more guidance from you, and that's when I basically turned it into what is now my mastermind, right, which is really taking people through every single aspect of it. But also I turned it into a coaching program, which won an award. I've now created multi-six figures through my consulting and the programs and the books and everything all together. And serving these incredible leaders, right? Whether it's leaders of their family or career or business or all three, like me. And, it really is a divine calling, and you can do the same in your unique, beautiful way, looking back over the journey you've taken and taking the 5 to 12 steps of that journey you've literally taken on, and take your people, your movement, take them along with you on your journey. So for me, this was my past struggles, and this really inspired me, and it created this foundation of strength and transformation. And for me, the analogy that really worked for me at that time was warrior. I was kept saying in my head, I'm a warrior, I can do this. I'm going from being a warrior, as in WORRIER, and going into a warrior, WARRIOR. So I think about my spelling there. But I was really going from, really that huge elevation. And that's when my Athena Publishing Company was born, right? Where the motto is in Latin, but essentially what it's saying is, with my pen and my voice, right? So through my divine skills, right, I am conquering my own beliefs that no longer work for me, as well as helping others. I'm protecting and I'm prospering. So yes, it is about abundance, of creating peaceful profits, right, in alignment with our spirituality, of using science, of using our unique methodology, right? And I help you create that in my mastermind. So the reason why this is so important right now is a lot of people I can see are very stuck in their limiting beliefs. Okay, they want to lead with purpose and confidence. They want to lead with conviction, but they're just not really sure about the emotional resilience side of it. They think resilience is really pushing through and working harder and longer, but they just get to a point where I can't work harder, right? Like, I'm burnt out. And actually, honestly, for me, I would say it's not that burnout is the right word. It's more just you're not working in alignment with your values anymore. And when you do that for long enough, it's not just the hours and going in kind of like against the grain. It's actually just, it's not tied into your why, right? Even if you may be in a leadership position in your company, it's not tied into your why anymore. So the beauty of when it's your own business is you can change that at any time. So for me, what we really do is really go deep into the deep emotional healing. That's why, I love my healing release methodology. And this is really the pathway to becoming that, not just warrior leader, but wealthy warrior leader. So you are also self-sufficient as well. Someone who's really leading with clarity, with confidence, with conviction and emotional balance, right? Logic and intuition. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, after I finish, I'm going to put in some testimonial interviews that I've done in the past, so that you can, from my past clients, so you can really look at, other incredible leaders, doctors, consultants, psychiatrists, pediatricians, just other leaders who have done my programs, to really look at incredible results that you can be getting. Do the homework, okay? So really write in your journal the top 3 recurring patterns, all of these questions that we've got here. Please do post them into the group if you feel called to. Please post it in the group as well. And what I want to leave you with is, healing is the first step towards becoming a resilient leader. Okay, your current struggles do not define your future. Okay, this too shall pass, I promise you. And you can create the life that you want. You really can. But you do need to see yourself as a captain of your ship, with your precious cargo, your family, your health, your faith, your vision, and carve out the journey. And I can help you do that with you booking your consult, okay, and doing the audit. I can help you do that in detail as well. And what I want you to do is to really look at, with the Heart Method and the Wealthy Warrior Leaders Movement, this is designed to help you to rise up to your highest potential, okay? So what I want to also invite you to do now is to invite you into the Resilient Leadership Academy. Okay, now this Resilient Leadership Academy is literally your success path for leadership. Okay, it's for leadership and emotional resilience. This is going to be designing you to help you to excel in these 3 key areas of business, of family, and career leadership. all co-leadership with your partner, okay? And each month you're going to receive a masterclass, and this is going to be from the Success Path, but we're going to focus on a key leadership or resilience topic, and it might be a business leadership topic specifically to, how to create and launch your six-figure coaching company, or how to get your dream job, or how to do conflict negotiation and team building, how to teach emotional resilience to your kids. So it's very much blending science, spirituality, and just values-based methodology. Then we have a backstage pass where I'm going to really sharing with you exactly how I'm implementing that masterclass training into my career, my business, my family, my relationships, and offering you actionable insights. And every week, by the way, you will be getting templates and journals and exactly how you can implement this into your life, okay? So woo-woo, wishy-washy stuff. There's going to be a member makeover and Q&A, so you can submit all of your questions, and there will be a recording that will go deep into not just a quick Q&A, but really how do you embody this on a deep level into your career, business, and family, whatever challenges you're going through, and you'll get personalized feedback, okay? And every month you will also have a vision casting session where we're going to go plan out the next 30 days, heal and release the last 30 days, and then tying this into your yearly vision, okay? Now, for annual membership, you're also going to receive 2 complimentary tickets to my quarterly workshops, normally valued at $497, but you'll get them completely for free when you get the annual membership. And you'll also get a private VIP coaching day with me. It'll be on Voxer and virtual. So enrollment is just $99 per month right now, but it is going to increase soon. So make sure that you come and join us, okay? Come and join us. So I'm just going to put the link here for you. That is the link for you to come and join us. The link is also pinned in the Wealthy Warrior group, or you can just send me a DM saying membership or Resilient Leadership Academy, and I'll send you more information. So I'm sending you so much love and light. Do come and join us in the Resilient Leadership Academy. I'll be so grateful to have you in. Book your consult and get your books from me. And I'm sending you so much love and light. I've been Dr. Vidhya. We're going to come back on tomorrow, guiding you in detail with each one of those pillars. Today was more of an overview and going more into heal and release. Post your burn video, do your homework questions, book your consult, DM me to get your books, and come and join us in the membership. Sending you so much love and light. Please do share this with whomever you think it will help. And I'll catch you tomorrow. Take care. Thank you. Bye.